What's up? This is the YEEZY SL-02. I got these over a week ago, and I've been wearing these things daily. They've been that good, believe it or not. And yeah, let's talk about it. So yeah, daily wearability. I've been wearing these every single day. Rain, super cold. It's wintertime. It's Georgia. I take these on the trails. I take them outside. I do not baby these whatsoever. And yeah, this is how they've held up. I've gotten a. Let's talk about sizing a little bit, right? So I'm going to be all over the place. It's one take video, y'all. So I am a true to size 12. I went down one full size. So this is a US 11 or in YEEZY scaling, a 46 in Italy or European, I believe. This is more true to size as far as that Italy European sizing goes. Okay, I have a pair of Rick Owens Dark Shadow Mega Lace Concordians that is a size 45. And if they're calling this a 46, that's pretty accurate, okay? Because if I got a 46, I would have the same toe rim right here. I would have the amount of lift right here. My size 45, Italy sizing Rick Owens, they fit me absolutely perfectly with enough toe room, but no like heel lift or anything like that. It feels really nice and snug, but not uncomfortable. These have a little bit of space, even at one full size down, a little bit of space on the toe, and a little bit of heel lift, but that's primarily it. As far as how wide they are, I would say that these are more on the narrow side. Maybe they're just as narrow as my Rick Owens, but so if I went down another full size on these, then maybe I would have issues right about here with how wide they are in the bone, at least for my feet. Maybe I have a little bit wider of a foot. But yeah, that's the only reason I'm afraid to shrink these or go down a full another size is because they do feel like more of a narrow shoe. As far as comfort goes, my right foot, I know I'm holding the left foot, but here. My right foot has a plantar fascia issue, so I struggle with finding a really good pair of shoes that can comfortably support my arc and not give me any tendon issues there. These shoes have not once gave me that issue, and I've been wearing these daily. I've been walking around a lot in these, been standing around a lot in these, carrying around heavy things in these, and I've still not had that issue once with these. So these are even more comfortable than the Yeezy 350 V1 Pirate Blacks that I own. Because with those, I have to wear additional supports. With these, I don't. They have a good contour inside of them, and they actually support your foot. They support your arc area. So that's a huge, huge, huge plus. And it's actually pretty thick on the platform as well. It's like an inch back here, maybe a little bit less than an inch towards the toe area, but they do have a bit of cushion to them. You can walk around in these on some rocks and not be really, really uncomfortable. It's not thin like the SL1s are. So, really happy with the comfort overall. As far as condition goes, a little bit more to be desired. I mean, the thing about the all foam construction, right? They can get dirty and you can just wipe it off. I haven't wiped these off because I wanted to show you all the raw, unfiltered look at these after a week of straight use. So you're gonna have like your creases right here, creases in the front, but that's about it. Maybe there's some maybe there's some starting around the side like this. But these are just like high pressure, high bend areas. You want these to bend. Trust me, if this was more of a structured piece, then it may not be as comfortable as it is. I think if you were to size down, like I said, the structured areas like like the edges right here and the tongue right here, they could put a lot of pressure on your foot and maybe not feel as comfortable. So I think for most people, just going one full size down on these would be the way to go. A little bit more in comfort before I do the comparison with the second pair that I got for free because Yeezy sent a whole bunch of people another set of whatever they ordered during a certain amount of time because stuff was getting seized, but it was just USPS. But even though this is GoFo, I still got a second pair of these, so I'm not sure how the logistics really worked out there. But but yeah, as far as comfort goes in the winter conditions, these are amazing winter shoes, actually. I'm not sure how well they hold up on snow, but at least in the south where we get highs of 30 sometimes, these keep my feet warm. I mean, you're wearing insulation. So in the summertime, these may be a struggle, actually. And they are loose enough to allow maybe a little bit of air in, but not a ton, especially if you're wearing these with baggies, which I see 99% of people doing because I think these look better with baggies than they do in skinny jeans. They just look really enormous when you wear them with more fitted pants. But dress pants or baggy pants, I think these are perfect as far as styling goes. But let's compare them to a brand new pair and see how these have held up, especially in the ridges and thin areas, which from a first observation, I think they look pretty good. I have not babied these at all. I did not care about heel dragging or toe dragging these. I just wear these, so. Let's look at the brand new pair, which I have not hardly worn whatsoever. If I can get it open. And they got a different style rope right here, or different style pull from what I see on the YEEZY pods, or even the SL-01s, I believe. I can maybe get a macro shot of that later. All right, let's get this thing open. Yeah, once it's tight, it's a little bit tricky to get loose. All right, what side do we have? Oh, this is the SL-1s. Oops. All right, let me grab the SL-2s. I'll be right back. All right, here's the different style straps as I was talking about. So this is a thicker one on the SL-2s. This is a thinner one on the SL-1s. And even the SL-1s, I think, are maybe a little bit different than the ones you see on the pods. So there's your difference in strap there, if that's something that you are interested in. All right, let's get this one loosened up. All these bags. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these bags, honestly. Like, what am I supposed to do with these? I mean, yeah, put your shoes in them, but I never do that, so. All right, brand new pair on the left, used pair on the right. And you can see how the opening is kind of contoured to my foot a bit. It's gotten wider. So it's made these a lot easier to put on and take off for sure. And I think overall it's made it more comfortable. And that's the thing about this foam designs too, that I don't think a lot of people really realize is that it will conform to your feet. Now, you rather it you rather it conform if it's a little bit loose than conform when it's super, super tight. Because I don't think, I mean, if we look at the widest point of the shoe, I don't think that area is going to stretch out a lot. So I would make sure you nail the size by just going a full size down maybe. If you go 2 sizes down, that width area could be really uncomfortable unless you know for a fact that you have super, super narrow feet. And then we can obviously see that there's some difference in the creasing, the tongue shape. Maybe it looks a little bit more vertical on the used pair. The back area, I can't really see a difference from this angle. Let's look at the shark fins. Shark fins, they smoothed out a little bit, but not too much, in my opinion. They've held up pretty good. And I said it in my first couple of videos that the shark fins, they do feel like a harder durometer compared to the rest of the shoe. So they should last quite a bit and give you a appropriate amount of grip for their design. But the real test is going to be when I go to Minnesota. That's going to be the real test. But yeah, and yeah, maybe they faded a little bit in color, but I'm sure if I you know what, now I look at it from this angle. So this one's flattened out a little bit more compared to this. Like the tongue starts earlier here than it does here, probably because of all the bends and creasing there. Let's try these on. Let's try these on. No cut. I'm just gonna move the thing. Excuse me, Chai. Chai's over here eating his bone. All right, I'll just leave it at the floor like this. Hopefully I get it nice and centered for y'all. Got on my YS1s right now. I'm about to make a video on those soon. All right, let's see. All right, new ones on the left, or y'all's right, and old ones on the right, y'all's left. All right. So yeah, interesting. All right, so the claim I made about the width, maybe y'all can throw it out the window. So now that I actually have these on, and hold on, let me make sure. I'm gonna put my dog's cog thing right here so I can make sure I'm centered. Okay, we're centered. Okay, the thing about the width, I definitely it feels more narrow on the brand new pair than it does the old pair. I mean, go figure, right? I mean that's probably the case. As it should be. I don't know what I was talking about earlier. These feel a lot more wide than the brand new ones. So okay, they will expand in width a little bit, but yes, I do still feel the edge of it on my bone right here. It's nowhere near as uncomfortable as on the brand new pair. But rest assured, I guess, if you go down to full size, it will widen up and you won't have to really hardly worry about the the width. So that's something that's good news. Okay. I like to err on the side of caution before I give people like just ridiculous claims and stuff like that. That, okay, like your size 10 is going to fit like an 11 after a week of use. That's not the case. Don't listen to anyone who like tries to tell you different, but just know that if you go full size down and you have width issues with your SL2s, they will widen up a little bit. Other than that, maybe the articulation feels a little bit like when I say that, I mean like the arc support and all that stuff. I mean, I still feel the complexity in the 1 week pair, but nowhere near to the extent as the brand new pair. The brand new pair, I can feel that whole bump right here on this side of the shoe. On the 1 week old pair, they almost feel flat in comparison. Almost. Heel lift is the same. Toe room is about the same too. And that's about it. Maybe and yeah, I mean, of course, the brand new pair is going to feel a little bit more structured and a little bit less bendy. There's a better word I could use for that, but um, yeah, not man. This is so hard to explain. The old pair feels used compared to the new pair. There's a stark difference. Okay, but they're different, but they're similar. It's definitely more flat feeling, more on the lines of the SL2s for my used pair. The new pairs have that. It's just that arc support, that bump on the inside that I really feel in the overall width of the shoe. So this one's way more relaxed. The old one is way more relaxed, and it's a little bit more flat feeling on the platform. The new ones, they feel very rigid, and you definitely feel how different it is. So compared to a normal shoe, I would expect this behavior after maybe 6 months of use. But in this case, it's been a week, and they already feel very, very different as far as the platform goes, to the point where I don't think I could comfortably wear a new pair and an old pair of these at the same time. It would be way too distracting. Am I upset about that? Not really. I think it's something to expect with a foam shoe, but this is the first foam shoe I've ever worn that had that distinct footbed, that had that distinct arch support, that wasn't already flat to begin with. So there's going to be a difference. So yeah, just know that there's going to be a difference. Basically, that's that's the moral of that story right there. But let's move y'all back over here to the wonderful temporary couch and close out this video. I mean, I don't think there's really much else to say about these. I mean, leave it in the comments if y'all have any more questions about this. But overall, I'm really happy with these. I'll continue to wear these daily. I will happily take them to the airport and go on my travels and update y'all in the 1 month review. But these have been amazing. I love these so much. And do I recommend them? Yes. For $40, I think they are. Maybe they're 20. I need to memorize these specs, y'all. I'm sorry. But for whatever price they're at right now, I wouldn't pay over $40 for them. But even at $40, I think you can get some use out of these. Um, Longevity aside, it should still be okay. And they are really comfortable. Go full size down at the least. And yeah, just see what you think about them. Make some videos, talk about them, and get more insight because I get a lot of insight from y'all, and I think a lot of y'all can get some insight. Even if you upload just a normal short or just a first impressions video, people will still learn something and it'll be super valuable in their buyer journey and your own knowledge of these products. So anyway, thank you all for watching as always, and more soon.